Happy 2025. Hey, thanks for clicking on Hey, Melissa Crochets. Happy 2025 from myself and Larry, apparently. I just sat on the floor, so now he's just all over me. You gonna sit? Thank you. So I wanted to talk about my 2025 crochet goals. It'll be the first year I'm really setting goals for myself. Of course, every year I say to myself, you know, you do so many hats and toques and whatever for charity. Sometimes I do a lot of charity blankets, so I always have that goal in mind. I'm not going to stress myself out too much this year about charity blankets. What I get done is what I get done. It's going to depend on my resources and, you know, yarn and stuff. I swear, every time I go to like film one of these videos on my office floor, he goes to grab his bone and it's so noisy. Thank you. Can you just sit down? Good boy, you can sit and watch. You'd be a good audience member. So of course, every year I do so many charity hats. So the first year I did 100, and then I did 110, and then 2024 I did 124, and that was honestly by chance. I meant to do 120, but it's 124, so I do want to stick to 130 this year. I do try to do 10 more than like last year, so it'll be 6 more this year compared to 2024, and I'm okay with that. I think the maximum I would do probably is 130. I've always thought I could do 150, but probably not. It just honestly depends on my resources and my time and, you know, everything else. So that is my usual charity work. So I'm not really going to count that towards my 2025 goals. So it's kind of just autopilot for me now, and that's okay. So I did type out a list here that we can talk about. So something I do want to start like ASAP is a temperature blanket, but I'm not going to do temperatures. I'm going to do moods, and I'm going to do Larry's moods. Yes, yours. Sitting right here. So I'm going to do his moods because he's a sassy boy, and he's very, very smart. So if he doesn't like something that I do, he lets me know. So my plan is to do his overall mood for the day, because of course it's different, you know, in the morning than it is in the afternoon. So I'm going to do his overall mood. So I think I'm probably going to need about maybe 6 or 7 different colors, maybe less than that, because I want to do like happy. I want to do one for his a-hole days, because he has those days, trust me. And then you can do one for like snoozy days, so like sleepy, which probably will be the majority because he's an old English sheepdog. And maybe just something else, like, you know, just not himself, or, you know, kind of off his rocker, being crazy. So that's my thought there. I'm sure there might be other moves I want to add. I have to like do some more research into it, but that's my plan. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I might do squares for the month, kind of like Tony Lipsy's done before. TL Yarn Craft, shout out, I love her. Or I might just do rows and stuff for maybe like a blanket in his bed. That being said, I will be using acrylic yarn, probably a worsted 4-weight. Because a lot of the colors in Red Heart Super Saver are safe to use because it's been around forever, and I feel confident in that yarn. Goal number 2 is to maintain my YouTube every Sunday. I have been doing really good at it. I may have missed 1 or 2 since I started in April of 2024, and that's okay. I have to give myself grace. That's another thing that I'm probably going to say a few times during this resolution goal 2025 video. That's something my therapist always says, Melissa, you gotta give yourself grace. You're too hard on yourself. And I say, I know. So I always say I'm gonna give myself grace, and I am working on it. I am getting better at it. So every Sunday I still want to upload a video. Sometimes I do run out of content ideas, so I just search YouTube and take inspiration from others. And if I do have inspiration from others, I always tag that person or mention them in my video, or both. So I'm always gonna do that at least. My third goal for 2025 is to use 10 skeins completely per month. And that means like no more scraps. And honestly, like, I want it to work out that way, but sometimes it's just not going to. Like if I have like a small scrap, you know, like a little ball, and I have nothing left that I could pair it with, then I'm just, again, gonna have to give myself grace and donate that little piece. But I do want to use 10 skeins per month. I do want to keep track of like what I use during the months. I do try to, but it's not always possible because there's so many things to like photograph and to keep track of and because every time I complete a project, I take a picture of it, put on an Instagram reel, or sometimes I don't even share it on the internet just because like you forget because you do so many things. So I do always take a picture of my projects just to say, like, if somebody says like, oh, I'd love to have a cardigan done like this, I'd be like, oh, like this one, I've already made it, so what do you want to change? Change nothing, what size, etc. So and I upload those on my Google Drive, and I have a folder that just says Melissa's projects, and then I have it done by years, so 2024, and then I break it down by month, so everything in January, February, and like there's photos in those. So that's been really helpful. I do enjoy doing that. So if you need a way to organize, use a Google Drive. I love my Google products. Not sponsored. I wish. Okay. Goal number 4 for 2025 is going to be to crochet a scrap corner to corner blanket. I have actually already started that. So as I was doing my 31 skeins in 31 days project, I had some leftovers, of course, so I've just been putting them into this scrap corner to corner blanket. So it's going pretty good. I'm going to count how many rows that I have on this already. Currently 32 rows. So that's going pretty good. The blanket, the first corner to corner blanket I had made for my mom, I'll post a photo here. That was with Bernat Fluffy yarn, and it's a newer yarn. And I believe I did 50 rows, and it was much smaller than I wanted it to be because it felt like, I mean, it took forever because it was my first one I ever made. And the pattern isn't hard, and it's, you know, it's easy to, you know, turn off your brain and watch whatever and work on it. But the yarn was the issue because I had texted my work friend when I started working on this, and within the first 30 minutes I got up to the papaya stripe here, like this colorful one. I texted her and I had said, 1, good news, 2, for F's sakes. And she goes, what's wrong? What happened? And I had said, photo loading. I said, I've done this within like 30 minutes. I said, so Bernat Fluffy was the issue for me because Mom's blanket took forever and I hated it. And I said to my work friend, I was like, I don't know why you love the corner to corner stitch so much. I said, what a pain in the butt. And it's so slow. She was like, it's so fast. You're crazy. Like, obviously it's slower if you do Grafgan or whatever, but it's so fast. And I was like, no. So Bernat Fluffy was definitely the issue. And like, of course, it was with a 7mm hook, and like, it's a much thinner, I mean, it's a worsted 4-weight yarn. And I am double stranding this, but that doesn't really matter. Like the double stranding, I'm doing it like an 8mm, but it's going so much faster because the yarn is easier to see and it's easier to work with and it's not as slippery, and you know how it goes. There's some yarns that work well and there's some yarns that just don't work well. And I do use plastic hooks. I use Prim ergonomic hooks. They are my absolute favorite. Well, actually, the only ones I use. I guess I probably do have like 1 or 2 that are not Prim ergonomics. I don't use those ones very often, but I do love them. Goal number 5 for 2025 is to crochet 2 sweaters, at least for myself. I do have some yarn saved for that. One of them is Bernat Forever Fleece. I have a whole drawer full on the other side of the office. You've never even seen it, but I have a whole dresser drawer full of that. And then I also have some Karen Spice Cakes. They're a color purple, but like this yarn here. It's a really nice bulky 6 yarn, or sorry, super bulky 6, and the color purple. I have it saved over there, but I can't reach it right now. So that is my plan. I do want to do a pullover sweater for one of them, because, or like a top like this. I really don't like open front cardigans, even though that's really what I make for people. So that's my plan. I think maybe with the Karen Spice Cakes, I am gonna do like a hexagon cardigan. Maybe I'll put a button or 2 on it, just because it works up really well into a hexagon cardigan. I already know that because I've made quite a few. But the Forever Fleece, I definitely want to do a pullover sweater. Not sure what style or pattern yet. I'll probably just freehand it like I usually do. That being said, I do want to do like a top down sweater, like start with like a yoke. I've never done that before, so I think that would be a good goal. Okay, goal number 6, and I'm going to start putting little graphics of the numbers here because I'm not going to hold up my hands and say goal 6. I need to crochet 1 sweater for my sister's boyfriend. He's asked me 2 years in a row, and last year I completely squirreled and forgot. And then he asked me again at Christmas this year, well, 2024, and I was like, oh yeah. So I texted my sister and I had said, I don't remember what colors he wants. He needs to get back to me on that. So I want to do that for him. He said a pullover sweater. He really wants it out of Bernat blanket, super chunky, whatever you call it, Bernat blanket, extra thick, right? The big stuff. He really wants one out of that. I'm like, no, that's too hard on my wrist. There ain't no way. He already has a blanket out of that, so I think that's what his thought was there. And I said no. So I'm not sure what yarn I'll use for that. Maybe a blanket yarn, because he said he really wants it cozy. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet. It's also going to depend on the colors. Goal number 7 is going to be to maintain my Etsy shop. I do have an Etsy shop open. I barely look at it. I have had like 1 or 2 sweater orders from it that I've, shipped out like instantly type thing. And I only have my ready-made stuff on there. Like I don't do like customs or anything on Etsy. I probably should start, so maybe I will do that. I don't know yet. But there's right now I think there's 2 things on there, and in total, what I have left from 2024 is about 15 cardigans. So you can see I don't really maintain it. I need to, because people are gonna look at your shop and be like, okay, there's 2 sweaters. ... So I do want to maintain it. I need to get better at that. So that's a goal for 2025. Goal number 8 is going to be to do some larger markets in the winter time. As you know, I make cardigans. That's like my love. I love making big, long cardigans. And there's things that I learned in 2024 that I'm going to, incorporate into 2025. So when I did the 2-day market in Stratford, Ontario, the things that sold the like the cardigans that sold the fastest, even to like skinny women or tiny women or petite women, were the big plus size cardigans. And I was like, that sucks. I mean, it was great that they sold, but at the same time, I'm like, well, now I have no plus size left for the rest of the weekend, because that was the first thing to sell. It was 5 to 9 Friday night. I sold a few that night, but then Saturday it was from 9 till 4, 9 to 5, I don't remember, like 9 to 4. And then I had sold all the plus size ones by 11 a.m. So plus size women would come by and be like, oh, too bad you don't make any plus size ones. I'm like, oh, trust me, I do. Like 60% of them were plus size, but then everybody came in and bought them. And I showed them my sign. I said, because like I have that X rack, I'll put a picture here, and on one side I do plus size, and the other side I do standard size, and that's just always the way I work it. So I showed them my sign, and I was like, see, proof I did have some, but they've all sold. So this year I do want to do a lot more plus size. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to do any standard, unless, like, of course, it's a custom order. But things that like cardigans that I make to take to shows, I'm probably going to do mainly plus size, maybe 80%. So that's just the way it goes. So at least I know that now, instead of, like doing a bunch of standard size and then figuring it out later in the year when I do these markets. So I want to do that Stratford one again. I'm really hoping it's not the same weekend as Handmade Market Niagara, because I did apply for that. We don't hear back until the end of January. I really hope I get in. It would be my first year doing it, obviously. So I'd really love to. I had a vendor friend recommend it, and she does it with her her headbands and her kids' hats and beanies and whatever. So she was like, oh, you need to do that one. And then I looked at Handmade Market Niagara's website, and yeah, so I'm very excited. The application process was pretty extensive. I don't know if it's the same for everybody who's already gone. Vendors who would want to do it again for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th time, who knows. But you had to put a lot into the application, which I was fine with. I'd done that before with my old sewing business, so I knew what to expect. Fingers crossed that I get in. I also applied for their show in May. I think it's May 6th and 7th. It's at a winery in Niagara. So that one's like 2 days. The winter one is 3 days. So if I get into the May one, I know what my goals are going to be for the beginning of the year. It's going to be to do a bunch of cotton cardigans, either with Karen Cotton Cakes or with Lily Sugar and Cream, or Burnett Handicrafter is probably my favorite cotton yarn to use. So we'll see. Once I hear back about the acceptance, then I'll know what I need to start doing, really. So those are my 2 that I really want to do: the Stratford Makers Market and Handmade Market Niagara. If there's any others that I find, I'll apply for those. But I would like to do like some larger markets instead of just, I don't like doing the, church bazaar sales or, different farmers market in local towns that are like super small, because you're not going to sell clothing there. Like, sure, if I made like $5 plushies or keychains or something else, like baking bread, sweets, then obviously I would do those markets. But for me, it's not worth it, because my cardigans are over $50. Goal number 9 is going to be to design some summer clothes. I really want to do some summer daisy cardigans, or as I call them, flower power cardigans. I'll insert a photo of what I'm talking about. So I really want to do that. And then I want to do some cotton tops. I had designed some cotton tops last year, mainly just like basic crochet t-shirts. And like I marketed them to like my friends and family on like Instagram and like Facebook and stuff, but I never actually put them out there on like Etsy or anything. So I really want to design some nice ones, not just, you know, double crochet t-shirts. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet with that, but we'll get there. But you know, at least it's in my head. And then if I do get it accepted into that May market, then I definitely will need to design those sooner rather than later. And like, of course, I'm not going to take like crop tops or t-shirts and stuff to like the winter markets. I mean, like I could, but I probably won't. Goal number 10 is going to be more crochet and chat videos. And yes, I did move my camera. Larry went into the living room now to snooze on the couch. So I can move my camera freely now. I did get a new tripod, but if I remember, I'll put like a little video of it if I stand it up elsewhere, because my phone's on it right now. But it's so nice because it doesn't have the clamp on it, because the last one was like pinching my fingers every freaking time. And this one just has a magnet, and it's so, so nice. And my phone just basically snaps to it, and then I just have to like kind of twist it off, and there's no pinching of my fingers, and I love it so much. I'll link it down below on Amazon Canada. I'm sure you can get it in the States too. It's just a tripod with a magnet. And the one that I got goes up to like 5.5 feet tall, so it's really cool. I'll link it down below. Okay, so more crochet and chat videos I would really like to do, because I like watching those on YouTube. My fear is I won't have anything to talk about. And of course you can't really like read a book or anything out loud on YouTube because of copyright issues. So I need to figure out things to talk about during a crochet and chat. Or maybe I'll just put music with myself, like crocheting along. And like, you know, having a little bit of conversation, but having like a little bit of background music. If you have any ideas for that, I would really love to hear them. You know, if there's like certain topics you would like to see me talk about, or if, you know, there's topics that you're interested in, you want my opinions on, or maybe I could do like, you know, read some Reddit comments about crocheting and give my reaction. I don't know. I don't really like those videos, but I think it'd be kind of some fun content. And then, of course, I want to do some more like outside videos. I did a lot of those in the summer this year. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, maybe like 2 or 3. But I did a lot of those in the summer this year. Of just, you know, outside crocheting in nature is what I was calling them. And I was just talking about like my day and, you know, things that I'm working on and stuff. And, you know, it's just a visual for people. So I want to do a few more of those this year too. Goal number 11 is going to be some day in my life videos. I have never done any, and I would really like to do some because I do enjoy watching those from other people. I find it fascinating to see how people live their lives and, you know, different routines and stuff. So I'll probably do 2 or 3 during the year, maybe 4, who knows. So it'll be like my morning routine, when I make myself for breakfast, or if I pick up breakfast, you know, maybe a little few shots of like my day at work. I can't film a lot at work because of course privacy reasons and stuff, but I can film my face, me typing. Ooh, exciting. And you know, like after work, what our nighttime routine is type thing. So I think that would be fun. I've never done one before, and I like watching those for other creators, seeing people's routines and like, you know, what they like to do, what their day looks like, what their town looks like, etc. Or, you know, just their home, what their home looks like. I find that fascinating. Goal number 12, I kind of talked about in the beginning of this video, is to maintain my charity crocheting. I don't want to like, you know, lose focus on that because it's something I do enjoy. And, you know, I'm very much my grandmother. She does a lot of charity work as well. It wasn't just, you know, textile work for her, but a lot of volunteering she used to do. You know, things were different, you know, back in those days. You had more time, and, you know, she's very much a philanthropist, I guess you could call her. She would, you know, pay through her church to have some of the kids go to summer camp if their families couldn't afford it. And she was just the sweetest woman. I mean, she was strict and scary, but she was a very kind-hearted woman. Goal number 13 is to make a corner-to-corner graph gan. So, of course, put a picture on one of those apps. I can't remember what they're called, but I know them. And I want to make a graph gan. I'm not sure what pattern. I don't want to put a design up here because I don't want to copyright anybody. But you get the idea. Maybe I will put something up here of like a YouTube tutorial screenshot or like a blog post, and then I'll link it below. But if you don't know what a graph gan is, it's corner to corner. So like this blanket here, but it would have like a picture on it type thing, so you could change the color blocks at a certain time, and I think it'll be really cool. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet. Like, I don't really have like a project in mind for this specific goal, but I think inspiration will strike and then I'll know. So that is something I really want to do. Either it can be for myself or it can be for a gift. It doesn't matter. I just want to make at least one. Goal number 14 is going to be 4 monthly challenges. I really like doing challenges over the course of a month. That's been really fun for me. So in December 2024, I did 31 skeins in 31 days, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. So I would actually have Larry pick a little piece of paper out of a tub that had a little project on it, and then a piece of paper out of another tub, like a plastic tub, and that had a picture of a skein of yarn on it. And then those two would go together, and I broke the rules a few times, but I knew that would happen because just sometimes you have to break the rules to make a project look nice. So that was really fun for me. I really want to do some more monthly challenges. So my ideas so far, and I still need a few more. So if you have any monthly challenge ideas, please comment below. I would love to hear them because I'm kind of out of ideas. The first idea I had was some more scrappy hexagon cardigans. So I did that video like in July last year. So if you want to go back and watch this video, I'll post the thumbnail here. It was a really fun video to do. I was able to use up a whole bunch of scraps. Obviously, they're called scrappy cardigans, and I was able to stash bust, and just it turned out really cool, and I really liked it. So I did those over the course of a month. Like, I took a whole month to do them, and like I think I got 5 or 6 done in a month type thing, because I was just adding them as I was using up yarn and pulling yarn from my buckets and shelves, and you know how it goes. So that's the first idea. The second idea, I want to do some more Larry pick things. So as I just talked about my 2024 31 skeins in 31 days, we could do that again. Or I just get him to pick out yarn that I would lay out on the kitchen floor, or, you know, on one of my floors here in the home, and then I have to make something with that day. So I'm still having, you know, thoughts about that. I'm not exactly sure what I would get him to pick or how I would get him to pick, but I want to include Larry on a monthly challenge again. He really enjoys it. It's a lot of fun for us. The third idea I have, of course, is how much yarn do I use in 1 month? So last year when I did those scrappy cardigans in July, I did that video at the same time, and it was really, really difficult for my brain. I have ADHD, diagnosed, medicated, but it was really hard to maintain, like, what little clip did I film that was supposed to be part of the scrappy cardigans, and what little clip did I film that was part of how much yarn did I use in 1 month. So that was really difficult. I want to do that a little bit differently this year, because I don't want to do both of those same things in the same month. So I definitely want to do how much yarn do I use in 1 month, though. It is a little bit more difficult for me only because I work for the manufacturer of the yarn. A lot of the yarn that I get doesn't have any ball bands on it. So I would have to take a picture of it and then a picture of the project to say, like, okay, I used it, you know, because I wouldn't have the ball band to show you afterwards. So those are my 3 ideas for my 4 monthly challenges. So as I said, I still need some more ideas. If you would comment below if you've seen any other monthly challenges for, you know, not even crochet or knitting related, if you've seen any other monthly challenges for something else, and I could incorporate it into knitting or crochet. Or if you don't have a channel and you have an idea and you would like for me to do your idea, please comment below. I would love to hear it. They're so much fun for me. Goal number 15 is going to be make one of these turtle blankets. I absolutely love turtles, and I love like a seaside look type thing. I'm terrified of the ocean. I have thalassophobia, which basically means fear of the unknown. So like, if I can't see the bottom of the water, I am not going in it. I would be fine in like Bora Bora, where I can see the bottom of the sand. But if I can't see the bottom of the water, I am not getting in it. And it's the same thing for, you know, it's not just like the ocean. Like, I have that fear when I see a puddle and it's like deep and I can't see like the asphalt underneath. Or, you know, I'm terrified of like going to New York City because I know there's people living underground, and that just freaks me right out. And I can't. So fun fact about me. But I want to make the turtle blanket because I've been seeing so many people in Facebook groups do them. If I can find like a pattern that I can link it to, like on Ravelry or whatever, I will put a picture up here. I'm not going to take a photo from like a Facebook group and say, I want to make this, somebody else made it, because I don't want to not give that person credit. I don't want to do that. I'd much rather have credit to a person or somebody on Ravelry, for example, and then I can credit them. But I really want to make one of those turtle blankets. I don't really like amigurumi, so maybe I would just embroider them on, like if I did like a little cotton turtle type thing. But I really want to make one of those. I love turtles and they're so cute. So I would like to make one of those, probably for our bedroom, because we have like a bit of a beach theme upstairs in the bedroom. So I think maybe that would be a lot of fun. Well, it will be a lot of fun. I mean, I hope it's a lot of fun, depending on how it goes. Goal number 16 is going to make a carry saddle for Larry, my sheepdog that you seen earlier. He loves to be helpful, and he's a great dog. He loves to be helpful, but I do feel he gets a little bored sometimes. So even on our like walks and stuff, he needs more jobs to do. He doesn't like wearing clothes or anything, but I think that if I made him like a carry saddle, like a donkey, like this video I have up right now, photo I have up right now, I think he would really enjoy it, because I did strap something onto him to go to the post office one day, when I had a day off in the summer. We walked over. We have a post office in our small town here, and I just like strapped a little backpack to him, and he loved it. Like, he was prancing and he was so excited to be helpful, and even on the way back, like the bag kind of fell underneath him, like under his harness, but he was still dragging it along and checking on it, making sure it was okay, and it was the sweetest thing. So that gave me the idea to make one of these carry saddles for him. Even if we take something down to the neighbor's house, or, you know, we drop off, you know, some cookies to a neighbor type thing, I want to put it in this carry saddle so he can feel included. And I've had this idea for a while, obviously, since like the summer, as I said. I just haven't got to it yet. So that is a goal for 2025. And goal number 17 is the one that I am the most excited about. I think it's going to be so fun. It's going to take the whole year, kind of like a temperature blanket type thing, but something I really want to do, and it's going to be so cool at the end of the year anyway. Every Saturday, I put an alert on my phone, like a reminder on my phone, calendar thing, to take a picture of my yarn wall. And I'm going to put it at the same angle every single Saturday. Like, I'm going to line up the shelves to like a corner of like the camera. And then I'm going to do that every single week in 2025. And then we're going to see how much my yarn shelves, yarn wall, whatever, changes throughout the year of 2025. Because, you know, I mean, like, I try to work through my yarn pretty quickly. I mean, sometimes it doesn't happen. We all know that, and we have to give ourselves grace. So I really look forward to doing that. I think it's going to be really cool to put together like a slideshow, or even like a really quick like time lapse at the end of the year so you can see it change really fast. Knowing myself, I probably will do like a slideshow of 5 seconds each, maybe 3 seconds each, and then like 1 second each. So it's like a flash. I look forward to that. I think that'll be really cool to do. And, you know, I wish I had done that, you know, when I started crocheting, or like when I moved my yarn stash in here in the summer and August-ish. So I think that would be really fun to do. I'm excited for that. If you have any 2025 crochet goals, I would really love to hear them. Post in the comments below, or if you have a video on this topic, feel free to like link it below and I'll go watch it. And then, you know, who's ever looking at my comments could watch it too. I really love like interacting with other people here on YouTube. You know, I have my favorites that I watch all the time, and it's nice to discover new people as well. So if you have any crochet goals, or even just resolutions like in your life or whichever, comment below. I would love to hear them. I think it would be really fun for us all to collaborate type thing. Hello again from Melissa and Larry, who's right beside me. So it's been a few days since I filmed that 2025 goals segment, and I actually have been started to call them 2025 crochet desires, only because I don't like the word goals, because if I don't complete a goal, I'm gonna feel disappointed in myself. And if I change to desire, or I don't like the word resolutions, but if I change it to desire, it's things that I know I want to do, and if I don't get it done, I don't get it done. So it'll be easier on my mental health. So being somebody with ADHD, diagnosed and medicated, I know myself, and you know, I have ideas of what I want to film, and you know, I was making like a big list on Canva of, you know, like I would like to film this year, but I was like, that's not going to do it for me. So I grabbed one of the 1 million binders from work, and I created a binder for myself. So I printed out month by month, and then I also did week by week. So it's just gonna, like month by month, I'm just gonna recap basically, like this week I need to film when I release on Sunday. This week I need to film when I release the Sunday. So that was really helpful for myself. I'm hoping that this really helps. Planners don't really do it for me, but I think if I make it my own, and then like I've already written everything out like over this past weekend and figured it out, then I think it will stick in my brain a bit. So here is like the weekly plan. I called it video planner. For example, this one will be week 5, 31 skeins in 31 days. So this will already be released by the time you see this video, because this video is releasing on January 12th. So the week 5, 31 skeins, 31 days was released on January 5th. So that is something I think will be really helpful for myself. And then in the front here, you see this little paper. This one here, I put like monthly challenges or like monthly projects I want to do. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but you know, to come back and look. But I think this will be really helpful for myself. And we have hundreds of these binders at work, so I was like, I'll just grab one. And yeah, so it's nice to be able to map that out. So things that I put on here. So I already have this one done, for example. It's releasing on February 16th, but I just put like the title. And then I put yarn used and hook size just in case I need it. There will be, you know, some projects, of course, that I do need that. And then I put dates that I need to film this. That's why I did that overall calendar at the beginning of each month. I think that'll be really helpful. So like a monthly calendar. So dates to film, and then I put content to film, and make sure you mention, because there's so many times where I have to film another segment and say like, oh, I forgot to mention blah blah blah. Oh, now you can see Larry. And then the last thing is notes and thoughts. What went well, what didn't, what would I change, etc. And then I forgot to take this off the template I found on Canada. It just says rate out of 5 stars or whatever. So I might change that to views and like check the views the week after just to see like what people are gravitating towards, etc. So I really feel like this is gonna help me. I was excited that I had this idea, and this idea was all my own. Of course, you know, a lot of people use planners and stuff, but it was my idea to, you know, plan the year out for myself, and I'm hoping that it really helps. Every time I go to film something, Larry goes and gets a squeaky toy. I swear, every freaking time. And it's like, you have so many toys that don't squeak. Could you please grab that one? But no, of course not. So right now he's mad because I took away his toy. But that's just too bad, isn't it? Something I do want to incorporate more of next year, 2025. Today is New Year's Eve, by the way, so I'll see you guys next year. Something I do want to incorporate more of next year is Larry picking things, because as you know, we just did the 31 skeins in 31 days where Larry picked the project and the yarn every day, well, almost every day. And that turned out really fun, and I've gotten so many comments of like, oh, Larry's so cute, I love his facial expressions, what a ham. And I always reply to every comment, yeah, he's a ham, he's a bit of a turd as well, so he's just very smart, aren't you? So that's been a little difficult with him, but most days he's a good boy. Speaking of which, you would have heard me earlier talk about what I want to do for a temperature blanket. I'm actually going to do Larry's moods, and I'm very excited about it. I believe I have kind of like a color palette idea. I really need to like map out his moods and stuff, because there might be like 3 or 4. So I need to do that before, well, basically before tomorrow. So maybe that's what I'll work on a little bit tonight. I figured I might as well get Larry's mood blanket settled while I'm thinking about it. So for Happy Days, we're gonna go with, I believe it's called Mint, and that is Bernat Premium. Oh, sorry, Bernat Super Value. And then for his A-Hole Days, yeah, you heard me, we're gonna go with Ivy, Loops and Threads Soft Classic. I'm hoping I don't need more than 1 skein because this is all I have. He doesn't have his A-Hole Days very often, so I feel safe using this. Knock on wood, anyway. And then there will be days where he's at daycare, so we're going to use the color Erin for that, and that is Bernat Premium. And then his snoozy days, so when he's tired and snoozing on the couch next to me, which happens a lot on the weekends it seems, we are going to use the color Golden Wheat, and that is Bernat Premium. So there we have it. That is the color palette for the mood blanket. And as you can see over there, well, I guess you can't see right now, the garbage bag's in the way, but the 3 at the bottom is the mint color. So I'm going to save those for the blanket. And then also the color Erin. So there you have it. That's what we're going to do for the mood blanket. I've never done like a temperature year-round mood blanket before, so I thought this was a fun one. I seen somebody post online saying that they're using their pet's mood or their cat's mood, but it changes every millisecond, but they're going to do an overall for the day. So that's what I'm going to do as well. So of course during the weekdays, when I'm home, I'll write down his mood and stuff, and I'll probably do, you know, 7 rows once a week type thing. I mean, that's my goal. I do believe I'm just going to do single crochet because of how big they do get, obviously, because it's a year-round project. So I think I'll do single crochet and make it a good size. I don't want to make it too wide, but I don't want to make it too narrow either, because I want to be able to actually use it in the end. So there you have it. There's the color palette for the mood blanket. So those are my goals for 2025. I hope that you have set some for yourself, or maybe you're taking a break from goals, and that's okay too. Everybody has a different process. So thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you. Please remember that you are strong, you are beautiful, you are loved, and the world appreciates having you here.